right. That was great. Wasn't that great? Oh, well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday celebration. Another beautiful Sunday in May. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna continue to see the beautiful faces of our community on this video as we sing our opening song, and just want to welcome you to our spiritual community. Let's send some love out to our entire spiritual family. What do you say? I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude for every day. And I say, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Your biggest self can't be denied. You've got no place to hide because I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Oh, yes, everything is all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and again, welcome to this beautiful Sunday morning where we gather together for the time being in this virtual manner to celebrate this notion that we are a spiritual community and we are here to teach practical tools for a better life. That is the whole point of the New Thought philosophy, is that we are engaging the spiritual nature at the core of each and every one of us in a practical way so that our lives can unfold in more magnificent ways every day. Doesn't that sound like a good thing? Heck yeah. Yeah, I think so. It is my belief that we can precipitate our own spiritual evolution. Evolution, meaning change. Meaning that when something is required to change, the nature of spirit is to allow that change to unfold. And we can precipitate that notion of spiritual evolution inside each and every one of us by the use of our mind, by the use of consciousness, and setting our focus for a magnificent life. So let's begin with understanding together. Let's read the words of our mission statement. And again, as I've been saying, let's not read this just by rote. Let's allow ourselves to tap into what this feels like as we read this together. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. It empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And that's there's a fundamental truth. I've talked about the spiritual principle within this philosophy, that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by our use of a spiritual law, that law of cause and effect. And that has really resonated with me to be able to say that my nature is divine. Our nature is divine. Your nature is divine. We are God. We are that greatness on demand. And so that's what we stand for here. Now, the mission is the practical way to engage a vision. And my vision for ministry, my vision for life, not just ministry, but my vision for life is rooted in some very simple statements. And they are very simple, but they can be very profound. And the statements are these: love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And when we do this, we awaken to our magnificence. Everything we do here is to awaken ourselves to this goal of understanding our magnificence. And as we embody these simple phrases, it's not always easy, but as we embody these simple phrases, here's what I know. That we can exclaim for ourselves, and I can exclaim for you this notion: you are magnificent. You are absolutely magnificent. And I would love for you to take that into your own heart and exclaim for yourself, I am magnificent. Let's all say that together. I am magnificent. So in really feeling that magnificence, I feel magnificent today. In feeling that magnificence, I'm going to invite you to use the chat function of the videos today and reach out and say hello to everybody else who is watching with you and let them know their magnificent nature in your own unique voice. Allow them to know that. And I want to say hello and let everyone here who's in the room present know that I see all of you, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you, and I know that you are magnificent. So magnificent. So as you're reaching out, as you are typing in those messages of love and light, those messages of harmony and peace, when we come back together, let us take this notion, this opportunity right here and right now to begin to center ourselves in contemplation. And as we do that, I'm going to utilize this month's affirmation in service to this time of contemplation, allowing myself to use it as a mantra, and I invite you to do the same thing. Just taking in a nice, beautiful, deep, cleansing breath. I'll read the affirmation for this month, and I invite you to gently take it into your heart. I listen to the inner voice of divinity, and I am always guided in perfection. I listen to the inner voice of divinity, and I am always guided in perfection. And with this notion, with these words at the core of our heart, relaxing in the here and now, I gently invite the love to wash over each and every one of us. I know that each and every one of us is a point of love's magnificent expression. And in knowing this, I listen to the inner voice of divinity, and I am always guided in perfection. I listen to the inner voice of divinity, and I am always guided in perfection. Let's allow that to resonate in our hearts for just a few moments. in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine. Well, in honoring the light that's within each and every one of us, let us honor the faith traditions of the world through our celebration, our ceremony that we engage in every week called Lighting the Flames of Faith, where in this, and hello, Laura.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful to see you.
Grateful to have you here. In this ceremony, we are honoring the faith traditions, the religious ideologies, the spiritual paths of the entire world. And we are reflecting on this notion that each and every one of them is rooted in love. And so let's take that to heart with each candle that we light. And so we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. we light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is a candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed, for that is the true nature of healing, the revelation of the divine creative energy at the core of all creation. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle to your left is the peace candle. And we keep this candle consistently illuminated with the understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we understand that peace in our hearts, it expands beyond just our experience and spreads peace to the entire world. And so let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established, and peace begins to reign in the world. The featured song today that I wanted to sing is a song that is very near and dear to my heart. This song comes up at milestones in my life, and it just felt like I wanted to share this with you today. So. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, that's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me an answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? earth. For that matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious. If the race is over, what then? Thank you. Every week I think it is so much fun to sing with you and have this opportunity, and I'm so grateful.
We are.
Well, thank you. Just because you're not on a microphone, Laura said that was a wow, and I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. As is inevitable, there is a lyric that popped out for me in this particular run-through of, it's a run-through. I've sung this song a million times, and in this particular going through the music, this particular lyric stuck out for me today, and it is, if the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. And the reason I think it really popped out for me is I think we're all experiencing this notion that the usual way just doesn't work anymore. And in this experience of isolation, in this experience that we're having, in this experience of virtual life, we're having kind of a virtual life. And I will tell you, I really wasn't going to say this, but I came in with a little bit of sadness today when I was considering how to do this. Because I'll tell you, frankly, I'm tired of this paradigm. I am so looking forward to the day when we get to have people in the room again. I'm I won't say that I'm desperate for it, but I'm a little bit desperate for it. But what I think we'll find is that there's no map for what is in store as we move forward because the usual way doesn't work anymore. And that's what we're finding through this experience. The usual way doesn't work anymore. So we have an opportunity to really step into the new, in such a way that has never been before. And that is rooted in what today's topic was all about, our zone of genius. We, each and every one of us, have a zone of genius. And that genius is the thing that is propelling us forward. I talked a lot earlier about this notion of spiritual evolution and that we can engage our spiritual evolution to proliferate the change we look to experience in our lives. And I think that we have been on a path in this world of deepening sorrow. And that deepening sorrow has actually proliferated itself. It has turned itself into this experience of isolation. And that we are now at a point where we can take charge of how we choose to proceed forward. That is the zone of genius. And that excites me. As hard as this is to be in a room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other people and wishing that the room was filled with 200, the notion that we are going to step into something that we can't even imagine anymore is super exciting for me. How about for you? Are you excited about what is on the other side of this? Or are you expecting or looking to this idea that it's all going to go back to what it once was? I don't want it to go back to what it once was, because here's the thing. What I have found is that what was not working, and that is why we are here now. And so we can take charge moving forward, and that is really what I want to do. Now, I talked about, well, no, I didn't talk about, I chose, as I keep saying, I chose all of these talk titles, these notions, many months ago, and today was Zone of Genius, and it was related to that still small voice, right? That still small voice, which is the theme of the month. And the greatest lesson I ever got in ministry was when my mentor in ministry said, never let the title of a talk get in the way of what needs to be said. And so I think I've talked about Zone of Genius, and there's so much more that is bubbling up and wanting to come out right here and right now. And the notion of not letting the limited idea from the past get in the way of what wants to unfold, that actually is genius. So today, my message actually is a little bit more peripheral than what I initially intended. It is still rooted in the function of the still small voice, because it is that still small voice that said something else wants to be known here, something else wants to be expressed here, something else. But I have this question around that still small voice, and it is really, are we listening? Are we listening to that still small voice? Now, I believe that all of us have been challenged in these current life circumstances. You know, I get questions about how I'm able to keep such an upbeat demeanor and how I'm able to, keep going. And despite all the things that happen in the world, how do I allow that joyful nature to continue to shine through? And the truth is, that's a decision, number one. It's a decision to allow that to shine through. But it is not to say that I don't occasionally look around and go, oh. Just like I did this morning when I was coming in, I thought, I feel a little sad about, I'm not in an empty room. I don't want to discount the people that are here, but essentially, I'm in an empty room in many ways. I can be challenged by that because there is that still small voice at the back that is saying, this experience of life, I'm trying to think, is there any other way that I can put it? No, I'm just going to say it. This experience of life right now sucks. It just does. So I can be challenged in my life, but what I have committed my life to is, as a minister, I have committed myself to the practice of allowing myself to publicly move through these experiences and be a beacon of light for ways that we can all move through the experiences. It's entirely up to each and every one of us. I speak to my peers on a regular basis. I have regular phone calls each week with many ministers in the field that I've come to know and love, and we do prayer together and we have conversations together about what's happening. And the primary question recently has been, how are you all doing with all of this? How are we all doing with all of this? How are our ministries happening? How are our ministries unfolding in all of this? We ask it of each other, and I think we need to start asking it of you. How are you doing through all of this? How are you doing through all of this? Let yourself truly answer. I would like for you to really, I'm going to ask you the question again. And I just want us to all to take a breath, allow ourselves to just relax right where we are, let go of any notion of what has preceded this moment or any notion of what might unfold, and really hear this question and allow what needs to come up to come up. How are you doing with all of this? That answer doesn't need to be out loud, but allow yourself to reflect on the answer. Allow that answer to move through you. Now, I have debated utilizing this quote today, partially because I've waited a really long time to bring an Ernest Holmes quote in, because Ernest Holmes is on the religious science side of the New Thought philosophy, and I am now studying to be a unity minister, and there's going to be overlap. But Ernest Holmes wrote this, and I think this really resonates with me today. He wrote, "If we could forget that philosophy is profound, that religion is spiritual, and life serious, all of which may be true, but if we could forget all these things and approach reality as normally as we go about our daily affairs, we would be better off." If we could forget that philosophy is profound, that religion is spiritual, and that life is serious. You know what, I just feel the weight lifted off of my shoulders when I understand that I can make that decision and allow myself to just be the most magnificent me I can be. That's how I maintain this joyful disposition. That is how I move from those moments of sorrow or sadness into that place of joyful disposition. Because I remember who I am. And it is not tied to a written philosophy. It is not tied to religion. It is not tied to anything outside the self. It is an idea in mind. And my life is just better off when I root myself in that notion. Now, we have established some boundaries. We have established some boundaries in our life. And those boundaries may or may not be serving us well. Boundaries like, this entire experience is inconvenient. Boundaries like, I can allow myself to go into burnout. Boundaries of lack of control, loneliness, hopelessness, guilt, inadequacy, numbness. How many of us are feeling a numbness around this entire experience? You know, those boundaries can be very challenging. These things, I tell you, these things, they may not seem like boundaries. They may not seem like boundaries, but they are. They are. For they are reflective of conscious limitation. They are reflective of conscious limitation. And it is through each and every one of us that any limitation dissipates. We have this magnificent tool, such a magnificent tool, designed for times such as these. I actually got a little note that said, there needs to be a prayer for this time. I got a note that was passed along to me, and I agree. And what I would like you to know is that this tool of prayer, and that's the tool I'm talking about, this tool of prayer, which is designed for times such as these, we can either work it constructively, which is what we should be doing, or we can let the consciousness that is surrounding us to work at us adversely. We utilize our mind specifically and constructively when we engage in affirmative prayer. That is a zone of genius. That is saying, I actively choose to utilize my mind for the good of my life and the good of everyone around me. And so let us each step up today. This is my call to you, to step up today and actively engage the use of our minds to eradicate the current experiences of boundaries, those limited experiences, those feelings of numbness, to allow ourselves to eradicate those things and step into a prayerful disposition and know that we are the point at which joy and happiness and light and life and love is pouring forth. That is the active use of mind. And I don't care about spiritual philosophy. All I care about is that I know that I can use my mind to create. Because that's the whole philosophy. We use our mind to create. And you notice that I didn't say our minds because it is one universal mind that we all share. And so as we activate the universal mind in our own individualized fashion for ourselves, we actually activate it for all. We activate it infinitely. And so we can, each and every one of us, we can affect the entirety of creation through the use of our mind. We are a majority. Now, oftentimes when I approach the use of mind, one of the first questions I will ask myself is this: how am I feeling? How am I feeling? Now, as I said, I came in here today and I was feeling a little down. I was feeling a little sad. And it is that time when I allow that reflection to inform what it is that I choose to step into. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Allow yourself to just get a sensation of that core feeling that you have right in this moment. Asking that question free of judgment: what is prevalent for you in this moment? How are you feeling? Are you feeling fear? Are you feeling faith? Are you feeling love? How are you feeling? Now, that is an overview question, and when it is answered, it provides a clue to that which is below. It provides a clue to that which is that still small voice. Now, in the practice of asking the question, when you ask the question, allow yourself to answer it, and allow yourself to listen to what you hear. Allow yourself to perhaps step away from this notion that you are the one answering and listen to it as though you were somebody outside the self answering. This is just an exercise. Allow yourself to listen to what you hear when you ask yourself the question, how am I feeling? Listen to what you are hearing. Listen from all around you. And then allow yourself to listen from within. How are you feeling? And then take it one step even deeper and allow yourself to listen to what is behind that inner voice. What is it that you think about what you are thinking? That's that voice behind the inner voice. What is it that you think about what you are thinking, about what you are feeling? That is tapping into the belief space. What is your relationship to the thought? We have an opportunity to utilize this practice of going deep into understanding what is the voice behind the voice behind the voice in this experience as we live in the circumstances of the world. What is your relationship to the thought? One of the things that's come up for me is recognizing the immense capacity we all have for storytelling. There are a lot of stories being told right now. And the stories may or may not be true. But that capacity to be a storyteller, that is genius at work in each and every one of us. Genius has this capacity to make up stories in the absence of information. And I believe the stories that I make up. Can be a challenge. And like I said, I see this happening a lot. There are a lot of stories being proliferated out there because there's an absence of information. In that void, we are looking to create something. And what happens, of course, those stories become true for us. Our world begins to reflect that consciousness. We essentially reprogram ourselves, and the rest of the world follows suit in our experience. We are like computers. Yes, we are like computers. We live within the construct of our programming, but we have the capacity to reprogram ourselves. The program executes a calculation based on the program, and those calculations right now for many are fear and inconvenience and burnout, lack of control, etc., and so forth. All of those things that we feel are limiting our experience of life. This sounds like a really depressing message today, doesn't it? But it's not, because here's what I know, is that when I recognize that that is the programming that I have, I get to choose to erase that programming and step into something new. We can easily forget that we have this tool. We can easily forget that we can address these ideas, and that tool is the use of our mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because I am. Are you ready to start a new ending to the story we are currently living? Boy, let me tell you, I am ready. The story that I am ready to change is any aspect of my life that is rooted currently in any of those bounded ideas, those boundaries in mind. I don't need to live them anymore. But I also know that a narrow view of the absence of those boundaries is itself a boundary. It can be frustrating. This is like, as I eliminate those boundaries and take on a new idea, I am now limiting myself to that boundary. What if I just say, get rid of all the boundaries? What if I say, just get rid of all the boundaries? Oh my goodness. Maria Robinson said this: nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. This means let us not shape our potential by looking at the past as precedent. It is time we unboxed ourselves. The boxes we've established beautifully served us well at one time, and I want to acknowledge that they served us well at one time, but are they still necessary? Our zone of genius works best when we align with the truth of unlimited nature. Now, I've not only put myself in those boxes, I've put God in a box. You know, we like to consider ourselves, that is, those of us who are in New Thought, as open and accepting. And I know that we are. That is a consideration. We are much more so than I think many others in life. New Thought, though, is a box. It's a pretty big box, but it's still a box. If we are truly, truly self-reflective, what are the ways in which we are boxed in limitation by the notion of new thought? What if I offered this today as the message? Forget everything you have ever learned within the context of New Thought, within these walls, or whatever walls you have ever experienced in a New Thought spiritual center or church. What if I said, let it all go? Let go of everything. Forget it all. Where would you be? Where would you start? What would you be left with if you forgot everything? I think you would be left with spiritual truth. Unfettered, open potential. For that's what spirit is. It is unfettered, open potential, and we are the ones who are giving shape to it. Where might we look for answers then, if we unboxed it all? We might look for answers from the one source. We call it God, we call it light, we call it love, we call it infinite universal mind, we call it by many names, all of those things which are limiting the idea of that which is ineffable and unlimited. There is an inner divine authority. It is ever present. It is ready to express fully, based on all ideas it expresses. It is a genius who actually allows ourselves to utilize this. And there's a genius tool for the utilization of this. It is called affirmative prayer. A prayer rooted in feeling, not just words, Not just words, a prayer rooted in feeling, a prayer with the expectation of our unlimited good and inspiration. That is a genius tool that we have at hand. We have that within our capacity to express and experience this thing called light, this thing called love, this thing called God, more and more and more. Emily Cady wrote, "We talk to God. That is prayer. God talks to us. That is inspiration." There is not a separation. For as we talk to God, we are speaking as God. As we are listening and God talks to us, it is us talking to ourselves. We are consistently unfolding as the magnificent, inspirational, infinite energy that there is. There is no separation. We are one and the same energy, and so it is a harmony, it is a flow. That inspiration is the zone of genius. So I return back to that question, the question among my peers that I started with today, and I ask it again of you. How are you doing with all of this? The answer to the question, I actually know the answer to the question. The answer to the question is you are doing with all of this exactly how you choose to do with it. For you are the creator of your life. That life is without limit. That life has no preconception, and you alone, in your own individualized capacity as an expression of this infinite power, you get to decide how. And that is my message today. Namaste. Whew. I invite you now. This song is perfect. It's actually just perfect. We didn't do it last week because it was Mother's Day, but this song that we're going to sing today is just perfect. So I'm going to invite you now to reflect on a kernel of truth and whatever idea that has come through today that you get to walk away with, and let it be fully present in your heart right now as we settle into this notion.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and now and evermore.
I just love taking that moment, just allowing. This is the time in our Sunday celebration where we give, and so I'm going to invite you to take into your heart the notion of giving, and the ways that we are giving now are different. Yes, normally we would take a collection in the room, but now we give online, and you can do that at unitytucson.com, going to the website, clicking on that PayPal link. You can also phone in a debit or credit card during our office hours Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also send in a check, and we are very happy to accept that as well. Why do we give? We give because, again, as I keep saying, we want to be here. I want to be here, and I want you to be here, and we are setting ourselves up for success in that manner, that we will be here when we can gather again in person. So just keep in mind that giving and receiving are the same, and as we give, so we receive, and that money is God in action, and so we are activating this infinite creative power through the use of money. So I am grateful for all that you give. Let's read together our divine givingness statement in honor of this activity. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. Move around a little bit. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Here are our announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Here are your Unity of Tucson announcements for Sunday, May 17th, 2020. Check in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. Arizona time using Zoom. Consider it a virtual coffee break with friends, old and new. The link for this web-based meeting is also available in the description of this video. It's time for Bears in the Chairs, our annual event to collect new and unwrapped stuffed animals which we donate as a community to Aviva, an agency supporting youth as they transition into foster care. While our activities are continuing to be virtual, you can drop off a stuffed animal during regular office hours. We will continue to collect stuffed animals until the end of July. As always, don't forget to join us online for midweek spiritual practice, streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Get your midweek pick-me-up and the reminder of your inner truth every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. Are you in need of prayer? Requests are being taken by sending an email to prayer@unitytucson.com. Don't forget that the activity of requesting what you need is the first step toward healing. The links for all of our virtual offerings can be found at unitytucson.com. Keep an eye out on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube to keep up with everything that is going on. Thank you for being here and sharing your magnificence with us.
Thank you, Darwin, for those announcements. I want to offer my gratitude to everyone who has made today possible. Of course, I want to say thank you to Wally and to my father, Don, for the technical aspects of ensuring that we are seen and heard in this virtual way. I want to say thank you to everybody who was here. Laura, thank you for helping with lighting the candles and keeping your consciousness in alignment with the good. As always, I'm grateful for your prayerful understanding and experience of this time. And I want to say thank you to Linda and Adam and Raphael. I'm so grateful. As I always say, it's so much fun, and here we go, right? We're going to keep having fun together. That's what I know. And I really do want to say thank you for being present here with us today in this virtual paradigm. And I look forward to the day that we get to be together in the same room. Until then, do reach out. Let me know how you are doing. As I said in the message today, how are you doing? You can let me know. As we complete our time here, I'm going to invite you to share with me the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen.
Now there is peace on earth, for it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Thank you, God, for peace on earth, for it has begun with me. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. Of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born, and there's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, week, everyone. Namaste.